Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Trucker Tank. Today, I am honored to have my good friend and posse member, Trucker Josh. I think all of y'all know him from YouTube. And so we're going to talk about a couple things. One is somebody's got a brand new truck. You want to tell us about it, Josh?
Well, it's brand new to me, and it almost looks brand new. The previous owner to me had the truck and had it for 8.5 years and took immaculate care of it. It does look brand new inside and out. It's got a few signs here and there if you look hard. It's a 2008. It's a Kenworth W900. It's been the truck that I've been looking for years. And I wasn't really planning on buying a truck this year or even next, possibly, with how crazy the market and everything is right now. But I found this truck. I looked into it. The driver who had it is pretty well known in the area. I knew a lot of guys who knew him personally. I was able to ask them about the truck and how he took care of it. He was able to show me the maintenance records himself. He had them all ready. It was very detailed, which is great advice for anyone going to sell their truck, because that's what sold the truck to me. He had every maintenance from the last 8.5 years, all listed nice and neat in a nice little book. The book was clean. It wasn't all dirty. The engine's been rebuilt 600,000 kilometers ago, which is about 380,000 miles. He had all the documents for that ready to show me. He's came off as a really honest guy, and from his reputation with everyone around town here, he had a lot of integrity. So I think that I got it off a good guy. I got a good truck. Yeah, she may be old, but she's going to pull a long time yet.
Yeah, and I tell you, and just for the record, for everybody out there that haven't been keeping up with Trucker Josh and his daily videos, he is coming out of a Peterbilt and going into a KW. He said he wanted to fly first class finally.
That's right. That's right.
we just made some Peterbilt fans mad. We love both Peterbilts and KWs. So
I was looking at both equally. I'd be happy with a Peterbilt 389 or 379, a little older model. But my eyes and my heart has always been on a W9, and I'm glad I found the truck that I've wanted since I was about 8 years old.
It is a beautiful truck. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And I know you was tickled to death when you was finally able to get it. You know, my dream truck has always been a Peterbilt 352 cab over. I mean, those trucks I just love them. I mean, you know, so one of these days, once I get the company big enough, that's what I'm gonna have. It just might take another 10 years to get there, but that's okay. You always wait on what's worth waiting on.
You'll get there with the products you got. You'll get there. You got the best stuff. I don't use anything else.
Well, I sure do appreciate that. Now, I know that you got the KW. I know you got a new front bumper on it. I know you still got a lot of chicken lights in chrome to go. So one thing you told me in one of our conversations was you're going to start possibly start coming to truck shows in the United States next year.
Yes, that's the plan. That's the plan. I want to have this thing. It is a working truck, but I want it to be a show truck as well. So it's not like I can take every weekend off. But I definitely want to hit the big ones in several different parts of the country, across the U.S. and across Canada here. There is one this year in Hope, BC that I'm hoping to make it to.
Yep.
My truck's not really ready to show off yet. But
keyword.
Not yet. But, you polish it up enough, and it's just fun to go out there and build a relationship with like-minded people, like-minded drivers, and who also care about trucks and trucking just as much as you. So it's fun to go to these things.
Well, the truck shows you go to next year in the U.S., if you will tell me ahead of time, I will make a commitment that BullSnot will be there. Just like I did this year. This year's the Tony Justice Tour. Wherever Tony Justice is this year, I'm at that truck show or whatever event he's at. Last year, it was the funniest thing. Even though we were fishing buddies, I'd be at one show and he'd be at another show, and we didn't make, but I think 3 or 4 shows all of last year at the same event, but we was always booked on different events. It was just crazy. So this year we said, no, we're going to coordinate our schedules. Next year, Me and you will coordinate our schedule. If you're coming to truck shows in the U.S., I'll be there. Easy enough.
And I'm a big fan of Tony Justice as well. I follow him pretty closely on his social media through his posts. I've been following through his tour with all these shows that he's been going to. I love his new bus. He's making it big, and he deserves it. He's a great singer.
Yeah, I tell you, that's another thing. Like I was telling you with my company, it took 17 years to get here. Well, most people don't realize Tony's been playing music for over 20 years and just pounding the pavement every time we turn around, and producing new content and never getting discouraged and just staying positive. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And now it's happening. And everybody says, oh, well, he it's overnight success. No, y'all should have seen all the work behind the scenes. Being his fishing buddy, I've seen all the work behind the scenes, all the frustrations, everything, and it's been a well-earned success. That's just a fact. And
all success stories, very rarely do they happen overnight. There's usually a lot of work, and then suddenly, bang, it happens for you. But there's a lot of groundwork that goes into it.
And that kind of leads into the next subject. I've had numerous conversations with truckers because, I've been to truck shows everywhere now. And they all asked about YouTube. And, I don't know that much about YouTube. What little I've learned from, conversations with you. And so like the Trucker Tank, it's a new weekly show that's going to be on YouTube, and I'll share it on the other social media platforms, the whole 9 yards. And it's my effort to give back into the trucking industry as best I can. But everyone I'm asked, how do you get on YouTube? How do you monetize YouTube? What does it take? And I'm saying, guys, y'all are asking the wrong person. So now that I got the right person on the other side of the microphone, tell me a little bit about your YouTube journey and how you went from, one follower to 125,000 followers.
Well, like we said just earlier, it takes a lot of work. I've been making videos every day or almost every day, the best that I can I'm in my 11th year now.
Wow.
So there's about 3,500 videos on YouTube from me, each unique videos that I filmed and put together. Now, I run a vlog channel, so they're not high production feature presentation films. It's a vlog, which is a lot of talking. It's a video blog. So yep. I'm sharing what my life is as I live it, like a video diary, maybe, like a journal, video journal. A lot of work goes into it. I started off doing pretty much exactly what I'm doing now. I found at the beginning I was trying too hard. So that's for someone who's just starting off, don't try too hard. Just be yourself. Because eventually, if you put on a fake face, eventually that's going to wear off. You have to be yourself. I was trying to be too over the top, maybe try to stand out too much, but I've gotten into a good rhythm where I can just be myself in front of the camera. I can tell, my lame jokes the same way that I would tell them to my wife.
Your dad jokes. That's what
my dad jokes. That's just me. That's just how I talk. And eventually you get to the point where you're just you. And then with a lot of work and consistency. Right now, I've gotten into a new phase of my life. I've got Old Blue, which is my W9, and I'm getting into a new rhythm. So I'm trying to get my vlogs up the next day. And I've been struggling a little bit getting into a system.
Yep.
But you want consistency. I don't like not having consistency. I haven't had a video up to yesterday or today, and that bothers me. Because I like to be on time every day so people know when to see you online. So if you're starting a YouTube channel, you need a schedule when your followers can expect to see you online. Then they'll log in. You'll become a part of their schedule.
Yep.
And if you mess that up and you stop your schedule like I have, that time that was usually allotted for you and your channel now gets filled up with something else. And if it goes on for too long like that, you get replaced.
Yeah.
So consistency, being a part of people's lives and relating to them, and also a little bit of luck. That comes in all business.
It really does. I mean, it doesn't matter what business you're in. A little bit of luck. You got to have that. I call it serendipity. Everything aligns and it just happens. But you had to be out there working your ass off to make that happen. Case in point, like Tony. One of Tony's big breaks is when he went viral on YouTube and everything else. Was when he did George Strait's song, "Brothers of the Highway." He remade that with Aaron Tippin.
Love that song.
Well, they told him it was going to be career suicide if he did that song because that's a George Strait song, but they did it anyways. So he took a little bit of risk, and that is kind of when he really went crazy on YouTube. For you, how long? Well, first of all, everybody needs. Did y'all hear the number that Josh just said? 3,500 videos. So if you binge watched that, how long would it take? A month and a half?
Well, I'd say that my videos are on average about 20 minutes long. I like to keep them about that long. So 20 minutes times 3,500, whatever that would equal. It's a considerable part of your life that you would spend watching.
Yeah, considerable. But you'd get to see everything Josh has done for the last almost 11 years or 11 years. Mm-hmm. And I've watched too many of them myself, and I enjoy them. So they're very enjoyable. Highly recommend everybody, that's watching this video. I'll put a link to Josh's YouTube channel below in this video. So if you want to see his videos and subscribe to his channel, it'll be below in the link that'll be posted after I post a video. So saying all that, how long did it take for, or I guess one way to explain, how long did it take you to go from 0 to 100 followers and say from or not 100, but 1,000. So 0 to 1,000 followers. So you got a little traction on you. And then how long did it take you to go from 1,000 to 10,000 followers? Was it like 1 year or 10 years or it would be 10, but it'd be like 1 year. And then what was the next step?
It's been very up and down. That's where that little bit of luck comes in sometimes. Like you said, you have to put yourself out there, do the work, and wait for opportunities to come, and be ready when they come. Be ready to jump at them. So from 0 to 100 probably took me like 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
At the beginning, and a lot of those were just my family members. I come from a big family, family members and friends, and
it helps.
And eventually they share it out, and I think it took me close to a year to get to 1,000 followers. Some channels grow a lot faster than me. I've been a sort of a slow, steady growth. And then I got to around 1,000, and a journalist from Overdrive magazine just happened to stumble across my videos one day. And when I started this, as far as I know, I was one of the first anyways, truck drivers filming and documenting my life on the road. And they thought that was interesting, so they figured they wanted to write an article on me. And I jumped at the opportunity right away. It was just a short article in their magazine. And from that, I jumped to 10,000 very quickly.
Wow.
Very quickly within the next couple of months. And then since I was growing so fast, and at that time there wasn't as many truckers on the internet, I got to the point where when you Googled trucking, all you would see is me on YouTube. Or you went to YouTube, you looked up trucker, because my name's Trucker Josh. I did that on purpose because I wanted to corner that word. I'm giving some tips here. Maybe I shouldn't be giving my secrets out here, but it's okay. You want those keywords, trucker and trucking. That's what I wanted to corner, and I cornered those two words on YouTube. So anybody who went to YouTube and typed in the word trucker or trucking or anything to do with trucking, all they'd see is my videos. So suddenly I got a lot of attention, and there was more and more journalists that wanted to interview me. And the channel kept growing and faster and faster and faster until I sort of hit a plateau after a few years, around 50,000, I think. And then from there, it's been sort of steadily growing since then, because since then, there's been so many other amazing content creators that have started making their own videos. Not necessarily doing what I'm doing, but doing their own thing on YouTube. And
Sure.
A lot of these guys are really good at what they do. They make really good content. So there's a much bigger market for trucking content on YouTube, which is awesome. I mean, there's room for everybody. Anybody who wants to make videos, that's what YouTube is there for. But
it takes a lot of work and a lot of videos. Normally, I've talked to some of these truckers, and even I've talked to kids as well. They think all they got to do is just start a YouTube channel, and they're going to have instant success. They're going to have 10,000 followers in the first month. They don't have to put out that many videos, and that's just not the case. And so I tried to tone down their expectations the best I can based on what little I know. And you're reiterating every single fact that I already know to be true. Another one of our friends, Mother Trucker, or Alex Maya. I mean, he goes under Mother Trucker, the Asian Maya show.
Yeah.
He's got like 250,000. Well, he actually produces between 3 to 6 videos every single day.
Yeah, I follow him. I
Yeah.
love his content.
He's just a cool cat. I mean, I just think the world of him. He's a really really good, nice guy, and everybody that knows Alex, they know he's just a great guy. But he puts all that work into it. I mean, think about that. You're making one every day, and it had to go through all the edits and everything else. And yours are longer than his, but to have to come up with all this stuff every single day, that's just a ton of work. And he'll tell you unquestionably, it's a ton of work. So from listening to you and listening to Mother Trucker, my takeaway from that is, unless you were really willing to put yourself out there and be you, fake does not work on YouTube at all. You got to be you, and bring what novelty that you bring into this world, because everybody's got a certain skill set. It could be anything from woodworking, it could be driving a truck, it could be whatever it is. But bring what's really near and dear to your heart and bring that to YouTube, and you'll get a following. It just takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and it may be 5 years, it may be 10 years, but if you'll be consistent, you'll get there. And just like with BullSnot's I went through kind of the same thing you did. When you used to Google BullSnot, before I trademarked the name and put all this content out there, you'd have, politicians, you had everything under the sun for BullSnot, because they'd say that instead of the other BS word.
Yeah.
And so, but once I started putting out the content, I took it over. And so you go to Google or any search engine, you put in BullSnot, the first thing you're going to see is me. And you go to any social media platforms, first thing you're going to see, put in BullSnot, first thing you're going to see is me. But what people don't realize, in order to get there, I had to do over 1,000 posts in order to take over that algorithm, in order to get there. And so 1,000 posts is a lot of posts. There's only 365 days in a year, and there was certain days I would be hitting 5 posts a day. And Tony Justice, he'd call up and he said, "You need to cut this crap out. That's all I'm saying." I said, "That's the point. That's all I want you to say." I said, that's like a kid in a candy factory. I said, "It's called free commercials, free advertisement. Of course I'm gonna put it out there." But it's a lot of work. I mean, there's just a ton of work. Now I'm down, basically once a day. It's still a lot of work, but it's not like what it was in the beginning when I was actually trying to develop that audience. And once you got it, you can kind of do 55 instead of 120, and so it's a lot safer. From what I've seen.
Yeah. Once you gotta build a brand.
Yep.
Like my channel is called Trucker Josh Vlogs. It's pretty descriptive of what I do. I'm a trucker. My name is Josh, and it's a vlog channel. So when people see the name, if they know what a vlog is, I mean, that was a new term when I started.
Yep.
It's a video blog. They'll know what to expect when they click on it.
Sure.
They should know right away. And if they're looking for that kind of content, it'll steer them right towards it.
Absolutely. So I tell you, that answers a lot of the questions that a lot of people are, as far as the basic questions. Another question that I was asked, and you probably have a much better answer on this one than I do. What equipment do you use? Or would suggest they use if they wanted to do something similar? And because first thing I did say, you got it in your hand. To start out with, I mean, these cell phones are crazy good nowadays. But is there any equipment advice you'd give everybody if they want to do YouTube videos?
I'm a big fan of GoPro. I love their products. I would steer you away from all the knockoff brands. I've tried pretty much every knockoff brand of GoPro who tries to make the same thing. Not nearly the same quality. It's expensive to go with GoPro. The new cameras can be $500. If you can afford to go with the GoPro Black, I would say just start off big with that. But the GoPro Silver, and I don't know if they still have the GoPro White edition, they'll work just as well too. All the options that they have on these new cameras are incredible. They're very small. Do I have mine here right now? I'm sorry, I don't have mine right on the set here in front of me right now, but it's about this big, just a little.
That small?
Camera, and you can fit it in your pocket anywhere you go.
Wow.
And it's very handy. You can pull it out. That's all I use. I just use a GoPro Hero 10 Black Edition. It was actually a gift from one of my followers. I appreciate that a lot. But some guys, they want to use this big, fancy equipment. And if you want to do that, that's great. Go for it. It's very hard carrying that around everywhere, though.
Well, I've watched so many of your videos. It's not funny. Your videos are high quality. I mean, there's no skimping on quality at all. So if those are a GoPro Hero 10, that's pretty damn impressive.
It is very good. I thought I had mine right here. Here's an older one that I used that I actually ran over with my truck. My followers will remember this one. I have this one here. This is a GoPro. This is an older model. This is a Hero 7. They're up to the Hero 10 already. I drove over this one. I sacrificed it for the vlog. It wasn't on purpose, but it still works. I just don't have a screen. That's how big it is, though. It's very easy to carry around, and with the new GoPros, you can film up to 4K. They're just incredible quality. You can get a wide-angle lens that will show you a good action shot if you want to show everything around you. You can narrow it into a linear lens where it's just like a regular camera without the fisheye. Many, many different options. You can also hook it up to live. You can stream live off a Wi-Fi signal right off your GoPro.
Wow. What about microphones? Do you need a special microphone for the GoPro?
These have amazing microphones built right in. When you buy the knockoffs I was talking about just before, that's where you'll notice the quality difference is in the microphone. The knockoffs will have terrible audio quality. But these GoPros, I don't know how they fit it in here. But the engineers that built these things are amazing people. I'm a huge fan of theirs. I'm not trying to do an ad for them or anything, but it just comes out naturally because they make really, really good products.
So when you're in your truck going down the road, you don't have any kind of microphone close to you, just
nope.
And that sits on your dash.
Sits on my dash. You can tell when I have it on the dash, the microphone's a little further away from me.
Yeah.
My favorite shot, because these GoPros you can mount anywhere. You get a head strap. That's my favorite one. It goes on my head, and then it just sits here. It's totally hands-free while you're driving. You don't have to touch nothing.
Wow.
Just starts recording, and the audience gets to see what I see. And they can do the fisheye lens set. They get to see the whole dash. They get to see out the window. Everywhere I look, they can get a real feel, almost like they're driving the truck themselves.
That's too cool.
The microphone is right here then, and you get amazing audio quality just off the microphone and the camera.
Okay, next question, because this came up to how long can those record before you have to download them onto a PC? I mean, can they get like 10 hours or 20 hours, or how much video do they record before you got to download them?
That probably depends on the mini SD card that you use.
Oh, okay.
I've got a 128 megabyte, or I believe, SD card that I use. Gigabyte, yeah, 128 gigabyte card. And on 4K filming, I think that would get me a couple of hours.
Oh, cool. So you get quite a bit with it.
Mm-hmm. But if you leave it running for a while, the camera will get really hot. So it's not a good camera to use as like a 24/7 dash camera. Yep. The camera gets hot after 10, 15 minutes of recording.
So that'd be great to carry to a truck show.
Yeah.
And when they do the lights at night, fireworks, stuff like that, hell yeah. Because I know that the night vision is not that great on, your cell phones. But then, that would probably be pretty cool. I'm going to have to look into that myself. So.
For me, the Hero 9 had great night vision quality. But for some reason on the Hero 10, the new edition that I have, it's the same camera. They're both GoPro Blacks. The 9 has great night quality. The 10, they went down a little bit on the quality for night vision for some reason. But everything else is still amazing. Cool. And the 10 also has a screen on the front. So when you're talking to the camera, you can actually see yourself. So you know you're in the shot, and no one behind you is, making you look silly.
Just because I put rabbit ears on you one time, you got to be like that.
Now I got the screen. Now,
was there any other advice you'd give somebody that's, especially truckers that are wanting to get out there? Is there anything that I've missed asking you that would be advice for them for their YouTube channel?
Well, a lot of people ask if you can make money on YouTube. Yeah, you can. Absolutely. It'll take a little while to get there, though. In order to get monetized, you have to have 4,000 watch hours, which is all the combined watch time of people who have watched your video. So if you make a 20-minute video and one person watches it from start to finish, that's 20 minutes of watch time. If two people watch it, that's 40 minutes of watch time. You have to get 4,000 hours of watch time
Yeah.
and 1,000 followers, subscribers. Then you can apply for monetization. But just because you get monetized doesn't mean you'll be making money right away. You'll be making a few cents per video to start. And I'm not too sure how that all works, because Google takes care of all of that on their end. All the ads, they decide who sees what ads. I don't control that at all. But
Because I was going to ask, Josh, how come I'm seeing all these political ads for Georgia on your channel, but you don't control it? They do. I mean,
Yeah.
the politicians are all over your channel right now in Georgia.
Yeah, and up here, they'll see ads that are completely different. In our election season, if your viewers don't know, I live in Canada, just north of North Dakota. But I travel in the U.S. about 50% of my time. Very pro-U.S. I love traveling down there. Beautiful country. But in our election season, you'll see political ads for our candidates up here, but you go just across the border and you get onto those American towers. And why would they show their ads there, right? Because
Yep.
they don't care down there who's electing. Just like during your election season, we don't get any political ads up here. It's all based on your geography, and the algorithm from Google probably also sniffs out what you've been clicking on, what you like, and then it'll decide what ads to show you that would most interest you in Google's opinion.
Yeah. It's just kind of funny how it does that. But so if anybody's wondering out there why you're seeing ads from like Trucker Josh that are not Canadian, it's because they do geofencing. And by doing that, you're going to see all the political ads or whatever ads that you're interested in your local area. Because for the past 2 months, every time I go to Josh's video to play one, all I see is political ads. And I go, oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I guess you guys are getting close to your midterms there, right?
We are. And it's a governor's race as well. So the governor of Georgia and then the senator, one of our senators, that's all the ads I'm seeing right now. It's crazy.
Okay, and that makes sense. Yeah, I wouldn't see any of those up here.
Yeah, they're all boneheads, so that
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Oh, they're not too different up here, so that's universal.
Well, before we end this video, is there any other sage wisdom you'd give somebody on YouTube?
I would say just keep going. Don't give up. There's space for everybody on YouTube. There's a lot of content out there right now, and that doesn't mean that there's not room for you. Be yourself. Make the content you want to make. And the best advice I've ever gotten that has stuck with me is people won't always remember what you say, but they'll always remember how you make them feel.
Amen.
So make them feel good about themselves, and make sure you keep your topics. Well, you can talk about whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what to talk about, but remember that they'll remember how you make them feel. And I like to keep it light. And when people are finished watching my video, that they want to come back and watch another one.
Okay. One question I get asked outside of YouTube about you. Tell everybody the names of all your dogs.
Well, everybody knows Lord Diesel.
Yep.
One of my followers in Scotland actually bought him a square foot of land in a nature preserve. He owns land, which makes him a legal lord.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought that was so funny. I got the deed or whatever right here. It's funny. So he's Diesel. We have another big dog. His name's Chevy. We're Chevy fans.
Me too.
So that's good. And he's the color of the Chevy emblem, so it was pretty simple. We called him Chevy. After that, then our next dog would be Britt, my wife. She has a Dachshund, or a little wiener dog, and his name is Frankfurter, or Frank. And then not too long ago, I think about 3 years ago, we took on a foster dog, which was also named Frank. And he's actually become a permanent member of our home now. So he's Big Frank. So we have Frankfurter, but we just call him Wiener, because he looks like a wiener, he acts like a wiener. He's a wiener. And,
Yeah, that's what I'm used to him being called.
yeah. And then Big Frank, yeah. So that's our dogs, Diesel, Chevy, Frank, and Big Frank, or Wiener and Frank.
Yep.
So
Well,
they're
so
all
there you have
pretty
it,
old.
guys. For all the inquisitive minds, that's the names of Josh's dog, or dogs. And Diesel's the one that usually rides with him. So
yeah, Chevy and the rest of them don't really like the road as much. Diesel grew up on the road with me, so he loves it.
Is he going to be on the road with you this summer as well?
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know if he'll come with on every trip. He's getting a little older now. He's pushing 11 years old,
Well,
and
you built those stairs that helps him get in.
I bought them off Amazon. Actually, that's a very popular question. People ask me where I got those steps. Those steps, they're called Pet Loader. You can buy them on Amazon.
Cool. Josh, I appreciate your time, and as always, love watching your show. And like I said before, we're going to put Josh's YouTube channel link below here. If you like the content you're seeing, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. Sure would appreciate that. And we'll be bringing y'all more content as the time goes on. So, Josh, have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, see you, buddy.